What's up, beauty markers? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a full coverage beat face glam foundation routine featuring a new favorite foundation of mine, which is the Wet n Wild foundation. What is this called? It is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. I've been absolutely loving this foundation. I've been wearing it for about the past 2 weeks, and I decided to bring you a video showing you how I use it for a full glam makeup look. So if you're interested in seeing how I get this beat face right here, just the foundation, not the eyes or the lips, although the lips I'm wearing is my tried and true liner. What am I wearing? The NYX liner Mahogany, and I'm always using this, I'm always raving about it, the Milani Amore Matte Lip Cream. The Milani Amore Matte Lip Cream in the shade Sweetie. So these are the two items on my lip right now, but it's not about my lips, it's about my foundation routine. So if you're interested in seeing how I get a full glam full beat, then stay tuned and watch the video. So the first thing I like to do when I'm applying any foundation, whether it's full coverage or not, is apply a primer. And I've really been loving the Black Radiance True Complexion Shine Control Primer. I've already put that on my face. I mentioned this in my February favorites video. I'll link that down below if you haven't checked it out. So that's the first thing I like to do. Then we're gonna go right in with the star of the show besides my face, and it is the new Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation, and I am in the shade Espresso. I really like this foundation. I like that it comes in a bunch of different ranges, and I really do like the spatula. So what I like to do is just take the spatula and put it all over my face. Now this foundation is like a demi matte foundation, more matte, like a satin matte kind of hybrid thing, but it definitely works well with my oily skin, and it definitely works well with the primer that I use. So I just use the spatula and just move it all over, and I do a little bit extra coverage. I'll do a little bit more coverage on areas where I have problems, or a little bit more discoloration, which is typically around my jawline. So that's pretty much it. Then I'll go in with my handy dandy beauty blender, and I just love the black one, and I will start to blend that foundation out. Go around that neck, and I know this looks super crazy. It's always weird when I'm putting on foundations on camera because it always looks super red. I want to do some videos about how to choose foundations, but just a quick tip. You want your face to match the rest of your body. So many times, especially women of color, I see them matching their face to their face. Well, our faces are naturally lighter just because when we're out in the sun or we're out and about, we typically put on some type of moisturizer or SPF that protects our faces and not our bodies. So when you are choosing a foundation, think of it as if you were wearing like a sleeveless dress or a sleeveless top. You want your face to match this décolletage arm area. So that's pretty much how I choose my foundations, and I think I do a pretty good job. By all means, do what you must, but look at that coverage. And I'm gonna go in around that forehead, and it dries pretty quickly, which I kind of like and don't like. Like, there's no room to like play around with this foundation. Like, once you get this shit on, you gotta move. You gotta move. Get in those edges. I don't care what nobody tells you. Blend into the hairline, girl. Blend into the hairline. I'm adding more. Another great thing about that foundation is that it's like $5 fucking. Now I did have to go to a hood location to get my shade. I don't think you'll find this, depending just geographically where you're located, you may or may not find your shade at like a Walmart. I found mine at Walgreens, but again, I went to an area that was in the hood, which I don't mind because they have my shade. So definitely check them out. But for $5, the way that this foundation performs is unbelievable. Wet n Wild has been putting out like fire ass products, and they're so inexpensive and they work well, and I just love that. Like, makeup does not have to be all like such a hustle and bustle kind of thing. Like, it really can be simple. So I think I've blended as much as I can right now. So then the next step I like to do is use my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. If you have not heard about this online, then I really don't know how you're like really functioning in the beauty world. This has been everywhere. All the YouTubers, y'all, every video I fuck up a word. YouTubers, beauty bloggers, whatever it is that you want to call them, they've been loving this and I love it too. I'm in the shade Deep. Has this really big dope foot applicator, and this shit blends like a dream. Like, and I know it looks like I'm doing a lot, but that's because I am. This is like glam. This is not for a beginner. This is not for the faint-hearted. This is for those glam dolls that want to have like a beat face, makeup on fleek. I don't even know if people still say on fleek, but this is what this is. And then, ooh, yes, honey. I'm gonna go back in with my beauty blender, but this time with the teardrop side, kind of pinch it around, and then we're going to blend. Besides the fact that the Shape Tape Concealer has really great coverage, I really like that it pretty much melts into any foundation that I'm using. I've used that foundation, I've used that concealer with a bunch of different foundations, and it performs the same every time. My camera died on me. I had to delete some footage, but that's okay. But what I was saying is that the Shape Tape Concealer is one of those products that you want to have in your collection because you know it's going to perform. It's never going to fail you. You can take it and it will do exactly what it is that it's supposed to do. So that's why I think it's been such a hit. And as you can see, it blends in just seamlessly to the Wet n Wild foundation. So doesn't leave any harsh lines. It gives me just enough coverage, which I don't really have like issues under my eyes that I'm dealing with, but I think if I did, it'd be great. So the extra step that I love to do when I'm going for a full beat, full coverage glam look is to apply a second concealer. And again, this is not for the faint-hearted. This is for the girls that want to be full beat, full glam. And the concealer that I like to use on top of it is the new NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Amande. I really love this concealer. And I'll tell you why I love it. It adds an extra pop. So while I love the Shape Tape Concealer, sometimes it just doesn't give me that extra highlight that I'm looking for. This does. And secondly, it's a matte concealer. I don't know the technology behind it. I don't know how it does it, but it just adds the extra highlight that I like to see. As you see how it kind of brightened up that look. The Shape Tape Concealer, it blends really well. But the shade that I'm using doesn't give me that extra boom highlight. So for like a day-to-day type of look, I love the Shape Tape on its own, and I'll just set it. But for those days when I'm trying to pop out, like this weekend, I like to just add a little bit of extraness under the eye area. So once I apply it with like kind of paintbrush style cosmetic brush, I'll just go back in and blend it all in. Blend it all in together. And you see how it just kind of, sometimes you just gotta like love on yourself. And right now, I'm loving on myself. Or if you have oily skin, or if you're not a big fan of the liquid or creamy concealers, this is definitely gonna be something you wanna pick up. The packaging is absolutely adorable. Signature NARS, love it. Love it, love it, love it. So the next thing I like to do with any makeup look, but especially a full glam, full coverage foundation routine, is to set it. And I am using the Ben Nye Luxury Banana Powder. I do go in with a light hand just because I'm a melanin infused girl, and I don't really like to bake. I've noticed that in my makeup routine as I've gotten more well versed in the cosmetic world, I just realized that baking is not something that I need to do. I definitely see it still being done, and I think it works for many other people, just doesn't work for me. So I just actually like to set it instead of baking it. So I only take a little bit, like I'll even blow some off, and I won't start right under the eye. I'll kind of start below it and just press it in. Now I know this looks a little light, it looks a little stark, and sometimes it can be, So if I notice that it's looking a little bit too light and I'm going overboard, I'll just go back in with the side that I had my foundation on, because it still has a little bit left on it, and I'll just kind of cover it up a bit, and it tones it down quite a lot. And I'm still using that beauty blender because why else would you use anything else? I am going to try to buy some new brushes. I've been using the same set of brushes, not the same set, but the same kind of brushes, the same brand of brushes for so long. And I just have not ventured out to try anything else. And then when you have something like the beauty blender, it's super versatile. So you don't really have to have a bunch of different products. So it kind of limits the amount of things that you have on your vanity. But I am wanting to invest in new brushes. So if you have any brushes that you like, any brush recommendations, definitely let me know. So that is set. Ooh, this is like a super beat face. Super, super, super beat face. And we're not done. No. We're not done, because now we're going to add more powder. So this is what, besides the foundation being great, besides locking in the concealer with the banana powder from Ben Nye, another thing that I like to do for a full glam foundation routine is to apply a translucent powder. Now, I have been on a hunt for new translucent powders, and I talked about this on my Instagram. If you're not following me, follow me at The Mark of Beauty by Kim. I'll leave the link down below, or the name down below. But I've been loving the translucent silky loose powder by Lancome. I got this in the Gratis when I used to work for them. I never used it, and now I literally cannot get enough. I am in the shade, I'm using the shade 400, and this next step is going to ensure that not only will I get just a slight bit of coverage, like super slight coverage, it's translucent for the most part, but it's also going to ensure that this makeup does not budge and will last all day. So again, I'm going to go back in with that beauty blender, and I'm actually going to take just a little bit of the powder that is in the top. I hate the packaging, it's not that great. And I am going to set my entire face. I remember when I first started watching Patrick Starr, and he would take his big beauty puff and do this with the airspun powder, and I would be like, holy moly, whoa, that's a lot. And then I started doing it myself, and I was like, oh, I get it now. So for any of my oily girls, this step is definitely going to be something that you would love, because it's going to just lock in that foundation. Because it is a silky loose powder, it never leaves my face looking cakey. I attribute that to a powder and some other things that I'm doing in my skincare routine. But for oily skin girls, this extra step is like, it is absolutely needed. So I am setting everything, like everything, and I don't have to use a lot, but I'm using it, especially in those areas where I get oily, around the nose, on them cheeks. And this powder is just, it's so luxurious. It's so silky, exactly like it says in the name. And it just does the fucking job. So this is pretty much like the base. This is like, this won't budge. This won't budge. The crazy thing is that it's $9.40 and $9.99 going no damn where, but it's okay. But it's not gonna budge. The next thing I like to do for my full coverage routine is to bronze and contour. But I just like to bronze with anything that gives me warmth, and the product that I've been liking now is actually from the beauty supply store, and it is by Ruby Kisses. It's the Ruby Kisses mineral powder. It's fragrance free, talc free, which is important for that flashback. And I'm using the shade, does it have a shade? I don't think it has a shade. I don't know, but it's this shade here. Just gonna add some warmth, and I'm using this big fluffy brush from Sigma. I love these powders. And I'm just gonna warm my face up. Nothing too much. Just warming it up around that 2 head of mine. And this kind of brings some dimension back to the face. So before I started applying the powder, my face looked a little flat. It looked beat, but it definitely didn't look three-dimensional like our faces actually are. So this is just going to start to add some dimension back into my face. And I don't use a lot of it because it's kind of dark and I don't want to go overboard. And then the last step in my full coverage foundation routine is to use a contour shade, and I'm using a tried and true product. It ain't new, it's old as fuck, but I love it, and it is the MAC Blunt Blush. And I like to use like a smaller, more tapered, fluffy brush to get right in that crease and contour. So what's crazy, okay, so contouring brings depth, it brings shadow. So when you want to highlight, you want to bring something to the light. When you want to contour, you want to bring shadow and depth. If I turn literally right here, that is my natural contour. Most people have the ability to see their natural contour, but if you don't, you can always do the fish face, and it emphasizes it a little more. I've been doing my makeup so long that I just know where it is. And I don't start so far down, I start towards the back, and then I'll kind of blend it up. Now, you do have to be careful with the blunt blush. It does kind of run on the red side, but it works for me. You see? So now my face looks a little bit more angled. It looks a little bit more chiseled and not as flat as it did before. I do like to just go down the bridge of my nose. Not the bridge of my nose, down the sides of my nose. I don't contour my nose like that, y'all, but you know, this color will work for that too. But this is great for adding shadow. This is great for a transition color for melanin girls. It's just great for a bunch of different things. So I like to have it in my collection. Woo! Got me a check. I got a check. I've been singing that song all day. So, and I have hair. So I've been pretty extra. More extra than normal, but definitely extra. But this is the face. It's pretty much bulletproof. Like somebody could shoot me in the face with the water. Oh, I forgot a step. So even though I love to be matte, even though I love to be oil free, I still feel like right now, even though I love it and it feels great, it looks great, sometimes you need to add just a little bit more life back to the look. So I like to use the Pixie Makeup Fixie Mix. This shit. I like to use this stuff. You can buy it from Target. What I like about this particular makeup setting spray is that it sets my makeup, it will last all day, but it doesn't take away the matteness. Like, I like a matte face just because I have oily skin. This just brings my face some life, but it doesn't like drown it, if that makes any sense. So shake it up. Woo, you just go into the spray and just kind of go into the spray. You don't spray it on, you kind of spray it and like meet it where it's at. Yeah, I think that's good. I'll do one more. I look ridiculous. Yeah. All right, everyone, so this is the completed look. I absolutely love a full coverage beat face, and if you do, I hope this video was helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, like, comment, all that good shit, and as always, take your beauty whatever it may be and leave your mark on the world. Till next time, guys. Bye.